I'm surprised. What, my lady? That they would send the Templar of the Blue Rose to be my escort. It is an honour. These mountains are treacherous. Besides, your life is very valuable. It is obvious that they would send their best to protect you. Oh, their best, huh? You can't give me a compliment like that and then turn around and be like, oh, so you're the best, are you? What is it? Oh, nothing. It is rude of me. Rude? You don't have to hold back. We are all here for you after all. That's true. It just that this job isn't new to me. Being an ambassador is all about politics, and politics is all about show. I was just thinking that this escort of Templar was an all attempt to impress our council. Because you're all... Gah, no, sorry, I've said too much. What's your word? I've got a sword. Sheathed. I feel you have nothing. I see what she is getting at. It's because we are all so young. From Simon, the leader from the mission, to me, who is not only young, but also something as rare as a female Templar. Don't worry about it. We are, after all, Templars of the Blue Rose. You can trust in our skill. That'll come back to bite you in the arse. Yes, I know, politics is not much use in combat after all. If only I were able to protect myself, then all this wouldn't be necessary every time. Yes, it is. If dragons come around every time, that's definitely necessary. You want to fight? No, it's just I don't want to be so dependent on others. Adelaide's expression has changed during our little exchange, as if it's softened up just a bit. It feels as if I just got a small glimpse of another side of her, behind her formal and calculated facade. You don't seem very happy here. Oh, is that obvious? She sends me a wry smile. I guess not. Well, it's not like I wanted to do this. Did your parents force you into it? The last sentence is said in such a low voice that I almost didn't hear. It felt bitter. I don't know why I'm even saying such strange things to you. I guess it's because you look so gullible. You don't understand the complex of a shit sandwich, do you? Nice shit, nice. Not nice. Awful, terrible, you're awful. Why do you do this job, you shit? Not very nice, Adelaide. Gullible? Yes, it makes me feel like I can say anything to you without consequence. Somehow that doesn't sound like a compliment. I furrow my brows. Did I get the wrong impression of her after all? But that's why we're here. You don't want to be here, right? You don't have to worry, I'll protect you. She looks at me for a moment as if trying to read my intentions, then her smile softens again. Yes, I know. I guess I will depend on you this one time, then. Bring me home, Lena. I punch the point of the knife through the soft sole and place a flower next to it. Then I get back to my feet and look down on this little memento. The ambassador? Yes. Yes, that is a problem. We need to figure out what to do about the loss of Lady Adelaide. She seems so young, too. Lena? Don't let this bring you down. There is still a long road ahead of us. Don't worry, I'm not. She's a bit of a cock. Yes, our jobs in our lives are probably in jeopardy once we show up and it's like, hey, that person we're supposed to come with? Yeah, not here anymore. But she was a dick. There's still a long road ahead of us in many ways. You can't let this cloud your judgment as to the tasks ahead of us. Yes. I have to keep fighting. I feel we might be on someone's path, you know. Alright, let's go to the main street then. I walk down the street when I see something unpleasant. Oh, God. Alright, come on, I can see the crowd gathering up already to watch a fight. You? I'm surprised you're still here. Simon and Gavin. Judging by the look on Simon's face, this isn't going to turn out well. The air is full of animosity. I could say the same. I'm surprised Templars have so much free time these days that they can laze around in the mountains like this. How dare you? Gavin notices me approaching and calls out for me. Hey Lena, put your leash on your dog. This is obviously the last straw. Simon steps forward in a threatening manner. This is it. You leave now or I'll make sure you do. You think I'll just turn a blind eye on the presence of a Hellenian soldier? I don't care if you go blind. I'm not going anywhere. Simon grabs the handle of his sword as the situation quickly escalates. I have to do something. Stop! Yeah, that's close enough. I didn't do anything, but at least someone else did. A clear voice interrupts them before he can pull out his blade. I'm surprised to see the delicate figure of a young girl standing in front of Gavin, arms spread out. It's Erin. What are you doing? You can't fight here. Move out of the way. Are you aware of who you are protecting? I don't care. You can't decide who is allowed here or not. Erin stands firm as she confronts Simon without blinking. Before long, he and I also notice the oppressive stares of the townspeople nearby who heard Erin shouting. Simon gives in and pushes the sword back in place. Fine, I will follow your rules as long as I'm here. I can't tell whether he's still burning with anger as he shoots Gavin a warning glare and then turns around to leave. I watch him restlessly as he walks away, wondering if I should follow or not. As he disappears out of sight, Erin finally lowers her arms and Gavin heaves a deep sigh from behind her. Seriously, that guy is more trouble than he's worth. So says you. I'm sure you provoked him again, didn't you? You only trust me that much. Please don't hold it against him. They both look at me. Erin relaxes and smiles. Don't hold him against you. He was about to kill you, but don't let that stop and impede what could be a fruitful relationship. Don't worry, it must be tough for him too. Oh, you think so? What about saying thank you? I just saved your neck. I could have taken care of myself. The tension in the air lifts and the spectators slowly return to their duties. I watch Erin and Gavin bickering. Gavin, after staying here for a while, I just ended up accepting his presence in spite of what he turned out to be. Of course, it wouldn't be that easy for Simon. This is troubling. As I leave the two of them behind, mystical white man comes up again. What? Huh? Am I the only person who sees this guy here? The figure of a man catches my eye in the distance. I see him standing between the houses further down the street, past a group of people chatting cheerily with each other. It's him, the man I left by the lake. It's the first time I've seen him since then. He definitely stands out among the ordinary villagers here. Oh, it's Aran. Aran, that's his name. I did not remember. Surprised, I notice that Mary is standing next to me. Smiling her usual friendly smile, she follows my gaze. Aran? Yes, the spirit of the mountain. What a pleasant surprise to see him here today. Oh, so you all know him. None of you have ever questioned it. No, whatever. He's a spirit? She nods calmly. Yes, you can tell, can't you? There is something different about him. Yes, the way he looks like he's constantly high. Although saying that could just mean he's from southern Spain. We don't know. Or Colombia. He was here long before the first of us arrived here, after all. He's been a very kind host. So his name is Aran. My gaze returns to the stranger, but I can't help but get surprised as he also turned his head, looking directly back at me. Despite the long distance, his stare makes me feel slightly uncomfortable, as if he can hear our every word. Instinctively, I quickly look away, while at the same time telling myself not to think such silly thoughts. Are we going to approach him? And he's just going to be like, I could see what you were saying. Like Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible. Lip reading from 300 yards. Bah! He's a spirit, I wouldn't put it past him. Aran, of course, not Tom Cruise. It's the first time I've ever met a spirit. I can't help but be a little curious. Wait. What? I can't go up and speak to him? I have to go and see Tobias. Can I? No amount of clicking in other places is going to stop me seeing from Tobias. No, yeah, fine. Tobias it is. Do you take home a lot of prey every day then? Having nothing better to do, I decided to follow Tobias into the forest again today. This game needs to sort out what a compliment is. Well, I've got nothing better to do, so I may as well be in your company. He doesn't complain anymore since the first time I asked him to come along, just shrugs and continues on, leaving it up to me whether I want to follow or not. No, usually I hunt only for myself if I need something, or when the sisters ask me to help them stock up. Once in a while, someone else from town will ask me for favours too. I see. You spend so much time out here, I always thought you were hunting for everyone there. Of course not. There are other townspeople capable of doing this. Besides, you shouldn't go off killing all the animals here unless you really need it. You make it sound like I intended to. It wouldn't surprise me. Oh, your wit and charm, Tobias. For there is no man with a comparison. There he goes again. I grit my teeth in annoyance, but stop myself from starting a new argument. We continue in silence for a little while, then he raises his hand, signaling for me to stop. Silently, Tobias kneels down, examining the tracks on the ground. I notice a tree nearby with its bark all scratched and torn. Pause. I step forward to take a closer look at the tree, but Tobias stops me again. Stop! Fuck, I accidentally did skip mode. We don't want to do that. What? Don't go over there. He glares at me as if it's the most obvious thing in the world. Is it me, or is he even more annoying today? No, he's been more annoying than this. I sigh in exasperation and walk closer to the tree anyway. Is something going to attack us, or did he want to examine it to see how old it is and I'm just trampling over evidence? Wait! I feel the ground give in beneath my foot as I step down. Crap. I flail my arms and step aside to regain my balance, but it's no use. Finding only more broken twigs and foliage, it all gives under my weight and I find myself sliding down a grassy slope. When I finally come to a stop, I have twigs in my hair and dirt all over. That's just great. I wince at the pain in my old wounds. I told you to stay! I hear Tobias complain above me and I curse myself for looking stupid in front of him again. Well, a certain amount of defiance is supposed to be had. If a well-known hunter of the village says, hey, don't go there, you're not just going to be like, what's the worst that could happen? Yeah. You know what, this game, as much as it's enjoyable, I feel like it's a bit like the young ones. You have fun whilst you're playing it, but no one else is likeable. You don't stop and think, wow, I really like that person. Just everyone's unlikable. Oh dear. I'm about to push myself back up when I hear Tobias gasp above me, and then I see it too. Something is watching me from the bushes ahead. A boar? It's huge. The small black eyes are fixed on me, and I can see its sharp tusks that are probably responsible for the marks on the tree above. The boar snorts aggressively and stomps the ground with one hoof. Stomps the ground with one hoof? Isn't that bulls? Get out of there! Easy for you to say, my wind still hurt from this stupid fall, so fleeing back up the slope before it can reach me is out of the question. The boar stomps again as if it daring me. Alright, just try me. It kicks off the ground, charging towards me in full force. Oh god, we're not going to dodge out the way, it's just going to get stuck in the slope, is it? Every original boss ever. Watching it closely as it approaches, I grip the handle of my sword while focusing my energy. The air tensens around me as I concentrate on the animal rushing forward. Wait for it. No! That is when something comes flying down in front of me. It's Tobias. He lands between the boar and me and reaches for the sword by his side in a desperate attempt of warding off the rampant animal. I stare at his back, astounded by this sudden turn of events. That fool! What does he think he's doing? He'll just get himself killed by doing something so reckless. We were the one just going to do this exact same thing. And true enough, before he can even fully unsheath his bait, this weak attempt at a rescue probably fails as the boar hits home, knocking the sword out of his hand and sending him flying off to the side. The boar continues unhindered towards me after getting rid of this obstacle. I quickly draw my sword and plunge it into the ground right before the animal reaches me. The energy concentrated in the blade is set loose and the boar whines in surprise as the electrified wave hits home. Shocked by this unexpected pain, it puts in the brakes and runs off in a different direction, still squealing as it disappears into the forest. Yeah, boar? You wanna fucking mess with me? That shit will happen! You don't mess with Lena. Me, alright? You don't mess with me. I push myself up and hurry over to Tobias' side. He's sitting up, holding his arms while wincing in pain. What did you do that for? I yell at him as I try and take a closer look at his wounds. What was I doing? Those things are dangerous. I tried to help you. So, we have him saying, don't do that, and we have me saying, don't do that, which is, loggerheads. I didn't need your help. That was really reckless. Whatever. Looks like he got lucky, though. Nothing seems to be broken. His arm is bleeding and he's probably going to be sore for quite a while, but nothing serious. We need to make a bandage for that. Is he going to reject that idea? I can take care of it. Yep, thought so. He cuts me off and slowly gets back on his feet. Then, while trying his best to camouflage the pain in doing so, he humps over and picks the bow and the sword before heading in the direction of the hut. I get back up too in order to follow him back, but he stops me again, not once looking me in the eyes. No, I'll be fine. With that, he slowly moves away. Alright then. I guess the one thing that hurt me the most in this incident was his pride. How stubborn. Oh well, maybe I should go ask Mary if she has something for that scratch. I say this to myself after Tobias disappears out of sight and then decides to head back to town. Well, I mean, what is it with this route? Like, Tobias, as far as I'm aware, is a romanceable option. Who would want to do that? What? This isn't even a thing where people can turn around and be like, well, he's actually quite interesting. No, he's just a stubborn little prick. Like, fuck me worse than Simon. Oh, well, let's go to the town then, shall we?